Okay, so a few more people joined. I don't know whether think they will join. Just the good part is like we were about to just to. It's recording, right? The meeting. It's recording. Yeah. We just started the project so that nothing you guys can lose, right, in the recordings.
We're just adding I think the project initializer dependencies. That's when I
Mm.
developed.
Yes, 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 yes.
So
We
four, I
just
think you had added. Four, I think, dependencies you had added.
yeah. Okay, so now I just created the project. Okay, so now I will just move this particular project into a different directory so that we can maintain it properly. And I'll be creating like services. We'll put like January batch Jan I will put, and I will just paste this particular config client, and I will extract this particular project. Okay, and I'll copy the path, and we have to import this one. Okay, we have to do the import. Paste, enter, finish. Okay, now you see that this particular project is there, right? Got imported. Let me close other files. Okay, so now I will be creating few class files. Okay, I will be creating few class files. So the first one, I will be creating a class that is like new class and limits. Okay, and I will be writing some code. Okay, don't worry. I will be explaining all of this. Minimum, and I will do the private int maximum. So for this two, I will be giving like a getter and setters. Okay, let me save it. So next, I will be creating one configuration. Right click, new and class configuration, finish. So here I will be writing like @component and @configuration properties. Configuration properties. Import. Okay. So let me copy this and I will paste it here. Now I will right click, source, getter and setters, select all, generate. So this particular configuration properties, the service I will be naming it as like limits service, limit service. Next, I will go to the application properties. I'll go to the application properties. I will mention like limits service dot minimum is equal to 3 and limits service dot maximum is equal to 997. So for this particular service, I will be creating a controller. Okay. So let me right click new and I will click on class, and what I will do, I will be creating something like rest controller or limits controller. Here I will write like at the rate rest controller import, and see the values whatever I have defined right here. You see that minimum and maximum. So these values I have to get it in uh, the limits controller, right? So for that, I will be auto wiring this auto wired private configuration, right? Configuration. Then let me import the auto wired. Now I will write a controller here that is like at the rate get mapping, and it will be limits public limits retrieve limits, and let me import the get mapping and return new limits. So in the limits, what we have to get? We have to get the configuration dot minimum and maximum. So configuration dot get, first one is the minimum. Okay. Then we have to, I think we have to add the constructors also, default constructors also. Just select all, generate. So now you can add two parameters in the rest controller, comma, configuration dot get maximum. Okay. Dot get maximum. So what is happening here? Oh, here constructor is missing. Okay, okay. Constructor and default constructors are missing here. Source and constructor using fields, generate all, right click, source, constructor using fields, deselect all, generate. Okay, now what will happen here? Like whenever you click on limits, localhost 8080 and limits, so get minimum and get maximum will come, right? Get minimum and get maximum. So what is get minimum? is 3 and get maximum is 997. Okay. So I just hard coded some values here. That's what I have done, nothing much. So now if I run this project, see if I right click and run this project. Yeah. So I'm getting an error because currently you see the version we are using. The version we are using is 17, right? We are using 17, but you see the version which is configured with the Eclipse 16, right? So like we have to change the version. We always need to use the highest version available. So for that, right click, build path, configure build path. So the currently 16 Java is there. Okay. So I'm going to remove it and model path, add, add, add library, JRE library. Next, JDK 23 I'm using. So 17 is the project and 23 is my JDK. It will work. But 16, if imagine 16 is my JDK and I'm using 17 project, it will not work. Okay. So JDK version with whatever you are using, either it should be a same version or it should be a greater version. Then only the backward compatibility will work, right? Okay. So now it's 23. Now it will work. And if I click on Spring Boot app, hmm, okay. Now see, this is very interesting. What we did is we have created something called as config client, correct? We have created config client. Okay. Now this client, what will happen is it will always look for, okay, if there is any configurations are there, it will always checks in the server. So currently what is happening is you have a client, but server is not there. Okay, the config server is not there. Config server is not there. Now, if config server is not there, what I recommend you is just to copy till here, copy this, just paste it here, whatever the error you are getting, right? That paste it. Now, after adding the config server, you have to mention the port here. Okay. So currently you are telling that the config server is optional. So now this particular client will work. Okay. After introducing server, you have to mention the server port here. Okay. So currently we have mentioned that optional config server, which means currently the server is not there, but still we have to run. Okay. So I just copied this and you see if configuration is not required, add. So if configuration is not required, then we have to add this one. If configuration is there means the config server is there means that port number we have to mention here. Okay. Okay. So currently it's not there. Now I have added that property and I will click on Spring Boot app. So now what will happen? Your project will run. Your project will run. Okay. So as you can see that the project is started. Now, if I hit this particular service, limit service, what I am doing, I have to get the configuration minimum and configuration is maximum. So whatever the values you have hard coded here, limit service, minimum and maximum. So these values, okay, limit service, minimum and maximum, whatever I have hard coded here, these values I will get, right? So I will open the Postman. I will open the Postman and I will hit the service now. Okay. So I will open the new tab. What is the endpoint? It's localhost. Haven't given any port number, right? So 8080 will be default port number. Then what is my controller? The controller is slash limits. Okay. I will put slash limits and I will click on enter. Sorry. Yeah, it's still loading. Yeah, now what happened was I'm getting like a minimum and maximum. I'm just hard coding some values in the application properties, and I am actually getting in the controller. Okay, okay. So this part is completed. We have just configured it. Okay. So now what we have to do, we have to use the config server. That is the second part. Now I told you that what is actually config server in the theory I have explained here. See here, what is config server? Configuration server. It's a centralized configuration management, supports dynamic refresh, uses Git repo for external config tools such as. So basically, we have to create a Git repo. So there you can add multiple properties. Okay, so like that we have to do. Now it's time for us to create a config server. To create a config server, again, I will go to the Spring configuration. Here, I will be adding some property, some, yeah, Spring Web we need, dev tools we need. So next, yeah, dev tools are need. Config client is there, right? Config client is there. We have to add config server. Okay, config server. Config server. See this one. Config server. What is it here? Centralized management for configuration via Git SVN, right? So import that. So what is the name? It's a config server. Now I have to generate. Now I will cut this particular project and I will move to the project which we are creating, right? I will just move it here. Then I will be extract this. I will extract and let me import this project. Okay, this is 8080, right? I will be importing one more existing Maven project and paste it and finish. Okay, it's downloading the dependencies here and you can see that the config server got created. Okay, so now what we have to do is it's time for us to create a Git. So I will be creating a Git repo here in the Git repo here. Okay, so I will right click and click on new, and I will be type like repo, Git repo. I will go to the Git repo, and what I will do is I will be doing like see, you have to install Git to do this activity. You know, right? Like how to install Git. You have to create one account in the GitHub. Okay, you have to create one account in the GitHub. You can go to the Google and type like Git for Windows. Git for Windows. You go to this particular website here. Website. Now you'll get the option of Git for Windows, right? If you click this one, the file will be downloaded. You just give next, 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 and finish. So once after doing that, then you have to, if you launch the Git, it will ask you for the credentials. Use your email ID and password of the Git. Okay, so that you'll get this option like Git bash here, right? So this option you will get. Some of you are already working. I think some of you have some knowledge about how Git will work and all, right? So you have to use a Git. Okay, Git here. So the first part will be git init. Git initialization is the first part, right? Git init. Let me increase the font so that you can say it. First command is git init. Now what will happen is empty git repository will be initialized. Now I will be creating like a multiple properties, right? Because in real time also what will happen, there will be a lot of configuration file will be there, right? There will be a dev properties, QA properties like that. Now the first what I will do, first let me open the notepad. So in this notepad, what I will do, I will add some of the properties such as I will go to the application. I will copy this. Okay. So here I will paste it like this is 4 will be 994. Now I will open the new tab. I will tell you what I'm doing. First, let me copy and let me paste all the properties. Okay. Then let me create new one and I will add a new one. Okay. This is 5995. Okay. So now total three properties we have created. Okay. So the first property I will name as limit service properties. The first one is control F. Oops, sorry, control S. Where you have to save this? You have to save it in the inside the Git repo, right? This is the Git repo. Now let me copy the repository and let me paste it here. Enter. Now what is the name? Name will be limit service dot properties. Limits service dot properties. Limit service dot properties. Okay, I have added one file. Next, is it saved in the Git repo? Yes, it's saved in the Git repo. The second one I will be saving like same thing, like service limit service dot sorry colon. This will be dev properties. Dev dot properties. Okay. Now next one is what? QA properties. Control S, that is limits service dot QA dot properties. Okay, so three services I have created. One is default service and another is service and another is QA service. Okay, so three properties I have created. Now I have created the services, right? I have created the service. Now in the GitHub, what is the git command to check the status? Anyone? What will be the command to check the status? It will be git status, correct? Git status. When I do the git status, it is showing me that I have created new three files, right? Now, uh, you know that in Git we have three things. One is like staging area, and then we do the commit, right? So nothing added to the commit, but untraced file use git add. It's telling that I have to use git add to add this file. Okay. So I will do like git add dot, which mean it will add all the files into the staging area, right? Git add dot. Now all the files which you have in the red color, it will be shown as green color, correct? When I do the git add, okay, I do the git add, then I will do the git status. When I do the git status, as you can see that all the files which you have in the red color. Now it move to the staging area. Now we have to do the git commit, correct? Git commit -m. So I will give some comment like added what? Added uh, property files. Files. Property files. Enter. Okay. So now all the files I have committed, and when I do the git status, I will do the git status. As you can see, nothing to commit, which means whatever the files I have added, so everything I have committed. Correct? Great. So now see, we have created a git repo and we have added all the application properties, right? Now what we need to do is we have to tell our configuration server, we have to tell the configuration server what is the path, right? Like what is the path, like where the this particular configuration got saved. Okay. And second thing is, see, the port number is already there, which is 8080 is working. Okay. So we will be creating a different server. I will just close other tabs. Okay. The first one is port number we have to change. How to change the port number? Server dot port is equal to 8888. This is the port number. Then we configuration server the path of the git repo. So what is the path? We have to define, that is spring dot cloud dot config server config dot server spring cloud dot config server dot git dot url URI, I guess URI is equal to, here we have to mention like in which path we have added all the configuration. So I will just copy this. I will copy this and I will be pasting it like this. File, and I will paste it. Okay. File I will paste it, but in Java we should not use forward slash. We have to use the backward slash for the file. We have to use the backward slash. Then file. Okay. Great. Okay. We have added the git URL. So we have to add one annotation, and we are telling the Spring Boot that we have to mark this particular project as not this one, the server as config server. So for that, I will be adding one annotation, that is @ enable config server config server. Let me save it and let me import this one. Okay, great. It's done. Okay. So now again you see that Java 16 is there. I can right click build path, configure build path. Then I can remove this JArray, remove it. And let me add the new library JArray next, JDK23, and click on finish. Apply and close. Okay. Apply and close. And I will be right click and run as Spring Boot app. Okay. Now you know that the server is started. The server is started in the port 8888, right? 8888. Now what I will do is, see, I will go to the client, and we have to define this one. What is the config server? Now the configuration server is ready, right? We have to give the port number, that is like HTTP colon double slash localhost 8888 is the server. So basically, now what we did is we have created the config server. See, we have created the config server. The config server is connected to what? The config server is connected to the Git repo, right? This is the Git repo. That is what I have explained, right? See this? This is a config server. It is connected to Git repo. So in Git repo, what you can do? You can add all the configuration files. So I have added 3 configuration files. Okay. Okay. So everything is great now. Now let's see what will happen.
Sir, quick question.
Mm.
Why Git repo is essential in this architecture, sir? Can we not just keep it on the local machine only or is Git a necessity?
Git is necessary, no? There should Git is mandatory for the server. So all the
Oh,
configurations. So we have to see centralized configuration management
from a
supports.
pro, from a
Mm.
from a project application, I mean, from a say proper project perspective, I understand. Even for
Mhm.
a regular practice perspective, also, can I not use the local machine and treat it as a? I have to use
No,
a
no,
Git
no, no.
only.
Direct file path we can't give. You
Oh,
add some
I
files
see.
and directly you use the file path. It will not work. Okay.
It has to have a
So
separate server
either
address.
you
That's
have
why.
to use the Git or you have to use the SVN. Anything is fine.
Okay, sir. Okay.
Hmm? That is mandatory. Okay, so now what we did is we have created a client, and in the client we told that okay, we added the server properties. Okay, the port number we have defined. Okay, that is what we have done now. Now let's say what will happen now. Let's see. I will
Sir,
hit.
sorry,
Tell
sir.
me.
Sorry,
No
sorry to
problem. No
interrupt.
problem.
So, how did you get that port number? I just missed that. 8888. How did you get, sir?
You can give whatever you want. The port numbers are like user friendly. You can give whatever you want.
So, this
Here,
8888 you chose or you got it?
Usually we have a industry practice that we have to
Okay.
use config server 8888. Uh,
Okay.
okay, if you want, I mean, again, so I will be doing some practical. Okay, then again, multiple times I have created multiple presentations, and I will be explain that. See here, there is one more presentation. So in the okay, in another presentation that I can see here like what port number we are doing and all. I will be explaining. Okay,
Oh,
so
okay. Okay. Okay.
this is
Oh,
okay.
very
I
good,
will
sir.
I will come
Okay.
to that. I will come to this
Okay.
point. Okay,
Okay.
so
Okay.
for now, just we are at the beginning stage. Okay, so let it be at the first part. Okay, so double it, I will be keeping the config server. Okay, usually 99% of the project, the config servers will be there in double it only. It's a like a industry standard, but uh, if you want to change, you can change. It's not like you have to always use double it. It's standard we practice. Okay. Okay,
Okay.
now I have used double it, and let's see what will happen. I will hit some service and check what will happen now. Okay, see, when I do, uh, so the first one is like limit service. I will pass default. Okay, the first URL is default. Now, let's see what will happen if I give a default here. Okay, I will use default. Okay, see what happened was we have a default as a profile, right? What happened was, as you can see that we have three properties, correct? Three properties. In the three properties, so the first property I have used, which is limit service dot properties. Say 4994, right? So uh, when I do the double eight limit service default, when I do the default, what is happening? It's giving me 4994. As you can see, I'm not getting any dev or QA, right? I'm not getting Q or the dev. So for example, I will remove the default. Let's say if I give the dev, what is coming? I will hit the service. See, currently it is telling that this particular service is not exist, right? It's not exist. This is what, yeah. When I do the dev, see, profile is changing to dev, but you see, I'm getting the default, correct? Now, how exactly? We have two profiles here. One is dev profile, and another is QA profile. Okay. So default one is fine, 4994 I'm getting, but I'm not getting dev or I'm not getting QA. Now in this case, what we have to do? We have to add one line. Okay, we have to add one line. It will be something like mm, hello, can you hear me? Hello.
Yes, sir.
My
Can
screen
hear.
got blank. Yeah.
No, I can see. You're changing the windows.
My screen went blank.
Now it is blank. Now it is blank.
Uh,
You opened
just
one
hold
file,
on.
that
Yeah.
BPT.
Okay. Yeah, now it's coming. Yeah. Okay. Fine. So we have to add a property. Let me show you what property we have to add. We have to pass like spring dot. Hurry, yaar, it's going blank. Phew. I think my C drive is going full. That is the reason. I think I have to delete few things. That is, you guys able to see my screen, right? You guys able to see my screen, correct?
Yes. Yes.
Mm, I was just at the end. It's giving me some trouble. Just to free up some files in the C drive. Okay, just give me 2 minutes. Let me delete few files. So shift delete I will do. Okay, I just free up now. What happened? My application got closed down. Oh God. Thankfully, Zoom call did not ended, or else would have been
Ah,
trouble.
yes, sir. Yes, yes.
They will also get frustrated.
That's okay,
Okay,
sir. That's-
say it should happen. Like I will maybe next class when I come, I will just clear few things. Now I need to check whether ports are still running in the background or what happened here. First, we have to run the client. Let me run the client. Right click, run as Spring Boot up. See, what happened was the project got closed, right? The port is running in the background. So we have to kill these ports. So for that, we have to open the command prompt and we have to kill the ports, two ports which is running in the background. Like the commands we have to use. So when like you also whenever you are working on microservices, right? So there are multiple ports will be running, correct? So what you do if you want to kill the port? So currently what happened was like a project got closed and but still ports are running. So kill what is that 8080
Double
port
eight.
port on Windows.
So this is
Something.
not like the local host where we close the application and then there is no issue there.
Usually it has to close. Okay. Okay. So first let me find the IT 8080 port. One address you'll get. That address we have to close. Okay. So for that, what we do first is to find which port the 8080 is running, right? So I will use this command and click enter. Now it is running in the port. I mean, some address 24724 is there, right? So to kill the port, this is the one. So I will copy this and let me paste it here. 12345 is there. What is our address? That is like 2424724. Okay. Let me kill the port and double eight port is also running, right? So that is also we need to check double eight, enter, and this will be address will be there here. See, 11440. So one system is getting hanged, yeah. 14440. Enter. PID. D is missing. Okay. So now both ports are free now. I can run the server. Mm, so the first one is the client server, which I have to run. Right click, run as Spring Boot app. Okay. So now 8080 port is running. Let me hit the service. This is the service, right? This is the service. Default, I mean, the normal service which we created. 3997, correct? So this is what is not happening. When I do the when I do the default here, okay, the server is not running. Okay, let me start the server, which is the config server, right click, run as Spring Boot app. Okay, when I click the default, I will be getting 4994, right? See, 4994 I am getting, 4994. But if I change the dev, oh, dev also have given the same thing. We have to change, okay? Okay, that is the reason. God. So let's do one thing. See, default also 4994 I have used, and dev also I have used the same thing. I have to change it. So I have to, for QA 5 I have used, right? So here I will use 6 and 996 I will use 996. See, when you change the any of the things, you have to do the git commit. Okay. So if I do the git status, it will tell me that one of the file is saved. Then I have to do the git add. Then I have to use the git commit. Git commit -m. This will be second commit. Some message I will give and enter. Okay, now the file I have pushed. Okay, let's see now what will happen. When I do the default, I'm getting 4994. And if I give the dev, I have to get, what is the dev number? The dev number is 6996, right? So this is dev. When I give the dev here, what is happening? See, I'm getting 6996, right? And also I'm getting the default one also I'm getting. That's fine. So basically we wanted what? We wanted the dev properties, which I'm getting. Let's say QA means we have to get the different properties, right? When I do the QA, enter, say 5995. Okay. So basically what we can do, we can create like multiple property files. You can actually change the profiles. So based on the profile, if you pass the dev properties, dev variables will come. If you pass the QA properties will come. Okay. Default one will be there, right? So default also will come. Okay. So default is also there. Okay. So now, so why I have explained this topic means whenever we create any project, right? So most of the time we have to add this line. We have to add this particular line, config server, configuration server, like that. You'll be wondering, Tejas, like why exactly we add this configuration server? What exactly is configuration server is all about? The configuration server is like, see, when we have like multiple microservices, it will be very difficult to manage. Okay. So instead of maintaining, I mean, when we have different services, like if it's very difficult to go to each server and change the properties. So because of that, what we do, we actually create a config server, all the environment properties, everything we will be keeping in this server. Okay. So that's the reason whenever you create any of the client, you have to make sure you have to create a config server. Okay. And in the client, we have to mention the config server path. Okay. So like that, we have to give. Okay. Uh, Now, all these are fine. Okay. So see, we have created config client and client, config client and config server.